Fourth grade into math, lesson 4.5. Use mental math strategies for multiplication and division. I can use properties of operations and the relationship between multiplication and division to find products and quotients using mental math. Stepping out, number 1, James crocheted a pattern with this yarn. Each color has 7 rows with 50 stitches. In each row, how many stitches are in the pattern? Okay, so there's clearly 4 types of yarn, right? There's 7 rows and 50 stitches. So let's plot our information. And then of course the 4 for the number of colors of yarn. And then they want to know how many stitches are in the pattern. So we can use commutative property. And what does that mean? Is that where we just reorder it? Yeah, so we can put things that go by each other. So 4 times 50 times 7. Okay, so then they want us to use our basic facts. So if we put 4 times 5 is what?
4 times 5 is 20.
It's 20, and then add another 0. And then over here it does say the commutative property of multiplication states that when the order of the factors is changed, the product is still the same. So you can do that with what? Multiplication and addition. But can you do that with subtraction and division? No. Okay, because those have to go in a certain order. Multiply the result by the third factor. So we just said 4 times 50 was 200. So we'll put 2 in a box. So 2 times 7 is what? 14, and add 2 zeros. So there are 1,400 stitches in the pattern. Okay, for number 2, they want us to take 325 divided by 5. So basically, they want us to break the 325 down into smaller problems so that it's easier to do. Okay, so so what would we do for that? What could we break 325 into to make it easier?
Oh, you could not.
So we do 300
Yeah.
and then 25.
Yeah.
So are those easier to divide? Yes. So 300 divided by 5, we would put 30 in the box. What is 30 divided by 5? 6, and add a 0. 25 divided by 5 is what? Is 5. So 60 plus 5 is, so 325 divided by 5 is 65. Step it out. May have 800 cross sticks for 4 projects. How many cross sticks can she use for each project? So they know that we need to do 800 divided by 4. So use the relationship between multiplication and division. What number when multiplied by blank equals 800? So what was our other number? 4, right? Okay. Use basic facts and place value to solve. So we know that 4 times 2 equals 8. So 4 times, we would put the 2 and then add how many zeros? 2. So 800 divided by 4 is 200. So each project can use 200 craft sticks. Okay, number 4. They want us to find 5 times 72, and they want us to use distributive property. And that's when we use the parentheses, and you would plug your answer through. So the distributive property states that multiplying a sum by a number is the same as multiplying each add-in by the number and then adding the product. So what can we break 72 into that would make it easy for us? 70 and 2. Because 70 plus 2 is also 72, correct? Okay, so we just said 70 and 2. So the reason why this is distributive property is because they are going to take this 5 times 70, and they're going to take this 5 times 2, which they pulled it apart even more, okay? And then did 2 sets of parentheses here. So 5 times 7 is what?
5 times 7.
35, and add a 0. 5 times 2 is 10. So 350 plus 10 is 360. So 72 times 5 is 360. Okay? Use mental math to find the product or the quotient. Okay, I know it says mental math, but sometimes even denoting some of your thinking is okay. All right? So, what can I do here? Could I do these two together? So what is 30 times 2? 60. So 60 times 8. What am I going to put in a box? The 6. So 6 times 8 is 48. And add a 0. So my answer is 480. Okay. 450 divided by 5. What am I going to put in a box? 45. 45 divided by 5 is 9. And add a 90. On your own, use mental math to find the product or the quotient. Tell which strategy you